We start things off with Ash training with his Pokemon for the league, which is now only 1 week away. Ash, fully aware of what's ahead, and readies himself, of not only determined to beat his rivals, but will also stop an anti-plasma asthma. This look of determination and resolve is shown in his Pokemon, as they all continue training, with Hilda and Silent watching on. Sometime later, after training and traveling later, the group have finally arrived in Vertress City, just in time for the Unova League Vertress Conference. Upon arriving, the group reunite with Sharon and Iris, Hugh, and Bianca. The former they ready to compete alongside Ash, and Bianca here to cheer them on, alongside Hilda and Silent. But they all head into the city and catch up with Sharon and Iris also getting to know Hugh better. But eventually, the group makes it to the stadium. Before they can look at it in awe, before they can head to the register, something is heard from above. They all look up and see the plasma frigate in a holographic broadcast given by none other than Anne, who calls for Ash and tells him, his friends, the unusual participants, and everyone else that it's time for Team Plasma to take command. The broadcast then ends and an earthquake is felt. Panicking everyone, unsure where it's coming from, until they suddenly see something rising from behind the stadium. It's a giant castle. Shocking everyone. Before anything can happen, the Shadow Triad and multiple Team Plasma members emerge to confront everyone, sending out all their Pokemon ready to take them all down. The kids are about to send out their own Pokemon to fight back, but until all the Team Plasma members launch a combo attack. Before he can hit them, an extra comes the way and block it. Everyone is shocked, but Ash, Sharon, and Iris know the extra joke well and find out to be Clay. But it's not just him, it's all the Unova gym leaders. Silent's brothers, Crescent Chili, Berg, Lenora, Skyla, Drayden, Elisa, Bryson, Roxy, and Marlin, with Silent joining the fray. Or not just them, we've also got the Junipers, the Unova Elite Four, Chantal, Grimsley, Marshall, and Caitlin, Alder, his grandson Benga, with Ash's other friends joining the fray. Ash is about to send out Pokemon, but they all urge they can handle this. Tell him that N's waiting for him. Ash agrees, knowing this is his fight and believing they can all do this. While running up, he notices Caitlin and thinks there's something familiar about her, but quickly refocuses on the mission and heads inside. Ash was his way through the castle, battling many Team Plasma members along the way, with everyone except Pikachu wanting to save him for the battle with N. He gets a little lost though and finds a room to chill. While healing up his Pokemon, he notices how the room is, and it's kind of like a child's room. It's pretty nice, but then Ash notices something: a picture with N and some Pokemon. This gives Ash a new perspective on N's life. I'm wondering if he was always part of Team Plasma, or the way he is. Ash explores a little bit more until suddenly someone bursts in through the door. Or he looks up, prepared to battle, thinking it's Team Plasma, only to find out that it's Hugh, who awkwardly explains that he went up a different staircase and battled any Team Plasma members, but got lost and ended up here. However, Hugh then notices a Pokeball, causing Ash to turn around. Pikachu goes over to it and it's revealed that a Liepard is inside. Ash is confused, but Hugh quickly recognizes it as his little sister's Purloin. He tries to approach it, but she's hostile, not recognizing him and having been with Team Plasma for so long. Hugh continuously tries to remind Liepard of who he is, but nothing works. Or Ash tells him from the heart, and he goes in for a hug, and before it attacks him, a picture falls out of his bag, and he's Hugh's sister and a younger him. Liepard then compares it to the current Hugh, and finally recognizing him, and responds to the lick. Hugh is emotional, but thanking Liepard for remembering him and apologizes for ailing it back then. Instead, it wanted to get stronger to save her. Liepard is understanding, and the two share another heartfelt hug. Ash looks on with a smile and tells Hugh Hugh held the others, saying N is his responsibility. Hugh, in a better attitude, agrees and tells Ash that he can do this. But in the stop and he handles the rest of everyone else as he and Lightbird leave. Eve. A little while later, Ash makes his way to the top of the castle and sees N sitting on his throne. And congratulates Ash on making it all the way here, and Ash and Ash asks N about Hugh's life part, and Hugh simply said, N surprised, saying he didn't know that life part belonged to anyone, but it was a Pokemon that Ghetsis let him train under a sigillith. And it's, Ash, Ash sees that N's being sincere, but the two to reaffirm why they're here. There's a battle to be won, the battle of truth versus ideals. And so, once again, and the two set out their partners to duke it out. This battle is much more intense and action-packed than their previous bouts, with both Pokemon wanting to prove their trainers' beliefs to be true. Meanwhile, both trainers put their full belief in their partners and their own ideals. Both claim they'll prove the other wrong and win the battle. Suddenly, as the results get stronger, two bright lights emerge as the dark and light stone emerge from each trainer respectively, glowing brighter and brighter until they fully become two giant Pokemon. But neither even need an explanation to know it's Zekrom and Reshiram, and both knowing it's finally time to settle things once and for all as they hop in their respective legendary and take to the sky. The legendary Pokemon immediately go for their signature moves, Fusion Flare and Fusion Bolt, which ends in a draw. After the two clash with both long and close range moves over and over again. The battle is watched by everyone, on each side cheering their main hero on. Eventually, Reshiram traps Zekrom with extra sensor and lands a direct Dragon Claw, doing hard damage. Ash begins to encourage Zekrom, who manages to get him back into the fight. The two then land some more attacks on each other until Ash goes for Dragon Pulse, only for Reshiram to use extra sensory to redirect it, and then uses Higher Pulse to push it back. Ash tries Dragon Pulse again, the same thing happens. However, Ash wanted this, and as soon as Dragon Pulse hits, Ash calls for payback, sending the damage back, and then goes for Stone Edge for even more damage. The two trainers decide it's time to finish this. What better way to do it than the same way they started it? Once again, they call for a Fusion Volt and Fusion Flare clash. It lasts for a little bit. Zekrom, thanks to Ash's encouragement, overpowers Reshiram and wins the bat, and sends him and N falling. But Ash and Zekrom catch them and help them down gently. And is surprisingly okay with his loss. But he thanks Ash for the bat. Ash congratulates him on the victory, saying he deserved it. Ash and N then heal the legendaries and thank them, looking at Reshiram, Ash, Pikachu, and Zekrom, and considers that the world isn't just about truth or ideals, but a combination of both. However, the two have a nice moment. Ghetsis barges in, berating him for the loss and calling him a disappointment. N is shocked, and Ash, angry, asks him what's his deal. And that's where Ghetsis reveals the truth, that N was nothing more than a pawn in his real plan, saying that his and Team Plasma's motive for stealing liberating them was all a lie, and that Ghetsis wanted to ensure that he was the only one who Pokemon in the Unova region so he could dominate it. He then calls Colress, telling him now. What Colress understands, pushes a button, and the Plasma Frigate shoots a beam, freezing the entire city, and unleashes Kyurem, which Ghetsis rides on top. He then thanks Ash and as awakening the legendaries allowed him to find Kyurem's location and allow this to happen. And Ash, however, is full of rage and determined to stop it. Ghetsis, but Anne is devastated. Everything he believed in, everything he was told by his father was all a lie. But Ghetsis never even cared about him. He just viewed him as nothing more than a tool. He never actually had a family. Ash comforts him and says as he feels bad for him, but cheers him up and says that while he made a mistake, he can help fix it, and that they can do this. He can do this. And through his father, he won't get away with this. And seeing the determination, Ash, Zekrom, and Reshiram stands up and says, "Let's do this." The two fly up again against the new threat, and things start out rough, as not only do the two have no experience battling together, but Kyurem's ice type move was keep the two at bay, especially Zekrom. However, Ash takes the lead, and by following his advice, things turn in their favor. Ghetsis refuses to give up, though, and fights hard, eventually causing the two to crash into each other and freeze their wings together. As they fall, Reshiram freezes them by heating his body, but they manage to regain themselves just enough to look up and be hit by Ghetsis. Yeah, I know how to pronounce that word. Kyurem's signature move. From Ash and her starting the struggle, but they refuse to give up, fighting for the Unova region. Eventually, after a long, tough battle, the two then go for a Hyper Voice and Dragon Pulse combination for a powerful blast, weakening Kyurem, leaving a wide open front combo move. But the two do it again, but this time with their signature moves, with Fusion Flare and Fusion Bolt, what Ash dubs Fusion Blast, which results in defeating Ghetsis for the win. But Ghetsis defeated, Ash and have the legendary beast melt and break the ice and help everyone back to their feet. Everything's said and done. Looker, along with some Officer Jennings, arrive to arrest Team Plasma. While they're all being taken care of outside, Ash and N share a heartfelt moment. But with N thanking Ash for helping him realize his errors, and apologizing for all the trouble he caused. He even revealed that after meeting an Accumulatown, made him start doubting his beliefs when he had heard Pikachu say that he enjoyed being with Ash. He then hops on Reshiram and prepares to leave with the legendaries, planning on giving Ghetsis his beliefs himself and needing to spend some time with all three legendaries to help rebuild himself from the ground up. But Ash shares a nice goodbye with Zekrom and thanks him for everything. And before leaving, though, N asks Ash if he has a dream, and Ash responds, yes. And it's to become a Pokemon Master. And with a smile, tells Ash, that dream, make it come true. True. And wishes him luck in the league as he flies away with the dragons. Ash sees N off with a smile, while happy to have both helped him and keep people and Pokemon together. Ash then shares a smile with Pikachu as the two make their way outside to reunite with the others. With the Team Flare Plasma arc officially concluded, and now the Unova League can begin for real once everything's back in order. And that's where we're going to end this part of the series. So, what do you all think? That you all enjoyed how things went down? Tell me your thoughts in the comments, and look forward to the next video. Bye!